Yo, what's going on, everybody? So I'm Alex, this is Dito, and you're watching the So We Gaming Podcast.
Press start.
Oh my god, it's been so long since I feel like we've recorded an episode, and I'm so amped. Dito, how are you, man?
I can tell you right now, I've been stressed. It's been one of those difficult days, but you know, it all ended. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm here with you right now. And for those who also had a difficult day,
Oh no.
this is for you, ladies and gentlemen, because I can seriously not take this day whatsoever anymore.
Oh man, Dito's going hard right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so for those who are listening and watching live, the last episode we did was called So We Aiming Part 1. It was featuring our guest, Tyson Yonker, otherwise known as Nanners. He was a former semi-pro COD player, and he had a lot of insight. But in that episode, there was so many first-person games that we talked about, but we didn't get through all of them. And Dito has no idea about this, actually. But we actually have a special guest for the show today, and we're going to go ahead and bring our special guest into the broadcast room right now to join us.
Why do you always do this to me?
Because it's fun.
Whoa, wait a minute. Why do you always do this?
You got to turn your camera on.
Oh, it was on. It wasn't on when it was dragged in. Oh my goodness.
Man. Everybody who's currently listening and watching, this is Castabelle, otherwise known as Kaylin. She's a Twitch live streamer from Connecticut and is currently going to community college for graphic design. She's an avid FPS gamer playing titles ranging from CSGO to Apex Legends. Castabelle, welcome to the So We Gaming Podcast.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited that you're here. And Dita, are you surprised?
At this point, I should have goddamn be surprised with all the freaking guests that you have. You never tell me.
I never tell you. It's always so fun.
God damn it!
I was actually.
How you been? How you doing?
I was actually telling Castabelle actually about how I tried to surprise you with Meowsaurus Rex and how that completely failed.
Oh yeah, that completely failed. That's because I saw you. You know what? I'm just gonna let you talk on that one.
Okay, well, to recap really quick, so I tried to surprise Dito with Meowsaurus Rex, also known as Sam, and we were in a Discord channel that I thought was hidden, and I swear I had it set up to where he couldn't see it for the permissions, but he's an admin,
Bro,
so
I'm an admin.
I know, I figured that out now. But I think Dito was asking earlier, Castabelle, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I've been super excited to be on the podcast because this is like my first podcast I've ever been invited to. So I've just been preparing myself, just ready for any topic we're going to be discussing today.
Okay, that makes sense. So let me guess, you were just completely nervous the entire time.
Yeah, basically. Just a little nervous, but roll with the punches. I'm a Twitch streamer, so it's kind of okay to just continuously talk to yourself, but it's better with other people, so.
That is true. Yeah, I'd rather talk with other people, for sure. Okay, so there are 3 questions that I think we're going to start asking, guests on our show. The first one being, Castabelle, what is the first video game you've ever played?
It definitely was Wizard 101.
Wizard 101? Isn't that like an MMORPG or
Yeah, it is. It is. I think that's the first game I ever played because I remember using my family computer and I saw the commercials on the TV and I was like, I gotta play this game. So that's definitely the first game I've ever played.
That's excellent.
No, it really doesn't surprise me that's the first game you actually play because you're still addicted to that game.
I am. It holds a special place in my heart, and I'll never deny it.
That's excellent. All right. Question number 2. What is your favorite game of all time?
Oh my gosh.
Put on your thinking cap.
Damn.
That's actually super difficult because I played so many games, but when the first what my favorite game comes to mind, I feel like it's probably Animal Crossing.
Animal
actually.
Crossing?
Really?
I grew up playing that game, and whenever I think of a game that I could just play, whether it's the older games on the GameCube or the DS or the one that's new on the Switch, that's definitely my favorite game, I'd have to say, honestly.
Excellent.
That actually surprised me.
It's odd because I play a lot of FPS games, but I'm just a competitive person, and I really do enjoy the FPS games. But I think Animal Crossing, definitely. It's just another game that I really enjoy playing.
Animal Crossing
Fun.
definitely has those like chill vibes for sure.
No, it is
Yeah.
an amazing game. Don't get me wrong, but it's just, as you said yourself, you're an extremely competitive person with all the games that you play. It really surprised me that your favorite game was going to be Animal
I
Crossing.
didn't honestly expect that one either. It's just how like, oh, I seen her stream playing all these like, violent video games. It's all like Animal Crossing.
Violent.
That's good. All right. The third question. What are the main games you're playing right now?
So Apex Legends, definitely a big
Yes.
one. I love playing Apex. I've gotten into Pokemon recently. I've been playing Pokemon Sword on the Switch,
I used to have Sword.
and
Good choice.
I think another game that I've been playing recently is probably Valorant.
Ooh,
actually,
what do
so-
you main in Valorant?
I'm not really that good, but
She's
I've been
downplaying
playing
it.
Jet.
Everyone's a Jet man. I
So-
love it.
Yeah, everyone's a Jet main.
I'm a Jet
Really?
man
Not
too.
even CSGO?
I honestly just haven't been playing CS:GO as much as I have been playing like Valorant, just chilling with my friends. So I feel like I go through phases with CS, but
Everyone does,
CS:GO
for
is
sure.
definitely another favorite game of mine
I can tell
too.
you right now, nobody can escape. Somebody who played CSGO can never escape that game.
Exactly. It's just you can never.
It is sad.
I am that person. Also, I will admit.
You're not the only one. I think everybody can just agree on that. No
100%.
exceptions. Mhm.
100%.
I think that's where I actually first watched you on your stream was when you were playing Counter-Strike.
Oh yeah. I enjoy playing Counter-Strike. I think I've gotten better recently, but it's just I'm not as consistent as I have been because I've been grinding on Apex as of recently. I'm trying to reach Masters this split.
Yeah, you got
Oh,
diamonds,
snap.
didn't you? Right?
Yeah, I did, but
That's amazing.
thank you so much. It's just I solo queue a lot, so it's definitely more difficult, and I'm a student, so I don't always have the time to dedicate towards that grind, but it's definitely
I feel
something
it.
I want to work
Well,
towards.
tell me about it. I haven't been able to stream because of goddamn college.
Yeah.
The last time I played Apex almost religiously was when I thought I had COVID back in 2020, but it was actually just the flu, and I just played it for like 2 weeks while I was out of work, and I actually made it to like gold, and then eventually plat like a couple weeks after I returned to work. But I just remember playing the crap out of that game, and it was so much fun, and it was such a huge like break from sim racing and Counter-Strike and League of Legends. It was so good.
That's actually super interesting that you say that because I remember back when the pandemic first hit, that's when I also got into Apex. Because I know the game came out in 2019 and I played a lot of it, but then I kind of stopped because battle royales weren't really my thing. I was mainly playing like CS,
Mhm.
and then I just had nothing to do in 2020 when the pandemic hit, and I was like, hey, why not play some Apex? And that's when I got addicted.
Hey.
It's the bane of everybody's existence, to be honest.
Alrighty. And yeah, so we ask 3 of the same questions, and the reason why we ask 3 of the same questions is because it will be consistent among everybody. And now the 4th question, dun dun dun. Are you ready for the 4th question?
Oh, I don't think you are.
The voice changes.
All right,
I'm
Castabelle.
ready.
So, doing some digging, I discovered
Okay.
that you not only participated in a Skills USA event, but you got third place in all of Connecticut after preparing and memorizing a speech in only 3 days. Can you tell us more about that event and what your experience and takeaways from it were?
Oh yeah.
Excuse me?
So, Skills USA was something that my high school had their technical students compete in. And I didn't want to do one related to my trade. So I was like, why not do a prepared speech? I essentially had to talk about why Skills USA was so great and how to encourage others to be involved in their community and compete. So I remember
I love that. That's sick.
I was super slacking. I was like, I'm gonna wing this as much as I can. I remember my high school gave us buses that we had to get there at like 5 in the morning. And I wrote my speech and I had it on note cards and I was practicing over and over again. I was on the bus practicing. I had an iced coffee. I was like shaking all throughout. Oh my gosh, I was a nervous wreck. And we got there around like 7. So when we were chilling on the bus, we got there. There was a ton of other students, all of the other technical students throughout Connecticut. So there's a lot of people there competing for different competitions. Prepared speech was the one that I did, but there was a ton of other ones there. And I remember when we split up to go to each of our competitions, they had a sign-up board. And I don't know why it just didn't I just didn't put my name down first on this whiteboard. So I'm sitting in this classroom with a bunch of other people. We're all super dressed professionally because there was a dress code. So we're talking like black slacks, we got the tie on, we got the white shirt.
Oh my gosh.
Where I'm ready and I'm just practicing. So I didn't anticipate how long this would take. The entire day of the competition was from like 5 in the morning till like 8 o'clock at night. And I recall the time I got to compete was around like 2 o'clock. Also, I don't know if you can hear my dog in the background. I have a voice thing on, so hopefully that's not being picked up. Somebody probably just got home, so I apologize.
No, it's okay.
No worries, you good.
So I'm getting to compete, and I'm the second to last one to go into the competition with the judges. There were 3 judges. They said nothing to you. So hopefully you had to be dressed right, your apparel had to be correct. And the most interesting thing I thought about the entire thing was it was a prepared speech, so you had to memorize your speech and walk in there. But man. I was talking to some fellow competitors, and they were like, oh, well, you can bring your note cards in. I don't see why that wouldn't be a problem. And I wasn't sure if they would dock points off for that because my friend the prior year competed and she got 4th, but you only get a medal. You don't get a trophy for anything below 3rd.
Oh, wow.
So I was really nervous. I was just repeating my speech. I was ready. But I brought those note cards in as like a crutch just in case I needed to just like look down at my notes just in case. So I'm competing in front of these judges knowing that I'd probably get my points docked off just for bringing them in with me, but I brought them in anyways. And you can only imagine how it was crazy when they announced my name in front of like over 1,000 people at this hall.
That's awesome.
It was wild. And the funny part was the 2 girls who placed first in front of me, they were the first girls who put their name on first on that board. So so they knew they were coming in there and they were ready. So
that's crazy. Yeah. That's awesome. What a story.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I would have just fainted.
It was really nerve-wracking. You know, they had you they let students go eat and grab some lunch, but you wouldn't know when you were gonna get called. Like, we had numbers. They didn't call us by our name.
Oh
we
my
had
God.
like we participant like I can't remember what my number was, but we had them clipped on us, and we all had to look exactly the same, so you wouldn't know if I was from one school or a different school. And if you gave any like idea, let's say I wore something purple, that might have made the judges think I was showing what school I was from, that would have been something that deducted points from my
That
final
is very
score.
picky.
So they were super serious about this entire thing. Like it was, they were super serious about it.
So you
but-
said we got third, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, I really didn't expect myself to get third because I brought the note cards in. This was my first time ever competing. So I could only imagine maybe if I didn't bring those note cards in, maybe I would have placed second. And if I placed first, I would have went to nationals, but that's always something to think about. But the next year I wasn't able to compete due to COVID. But it was a really great experience because I really enjoy talking in front of people. I really think I'm good at getting my points across. And that's something I love about Twitch streaming, is being able to talk about things I enjoy and things I'm passionate about, and being able to share those topics and ideas with others. So I can kind of relate it back to that prepared speech when I put my own interests and thoughts into what I thought was so great about Skills USA and presented it to the judges. So it was a good time. It was a lot of fun.
That's excellent.
That's amazing.
Oh, I really do appreciate you sharing that with us.
No problem. This is awesome.
Gotcha. Now, I had a discussion with you prior when we were kind of like, setting this up. And one other question I definitely want to ask you, especially because you're our second female guest on the show, and woohoo, female presence. We love it. What are your thoughts and feelings of the gaming community? I guess mainly in the FPS competitive realm as well, since that's where you primarily play your games. What are your thoughts and feelings of the gaming community from the perspective, as a female?
That's
a loaded question.
It is a loaded question
Super
because I've grown up on the internet playing games ranging from Minecraft, where I met Dio.
Oh, what?
Where I met
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what it actually matters.
Oh my God, exposed.
I mean, that was adventure, but yeah, I mean,
That's
it got
so
exposed
funny.
right away.
ranging from games like Minecraft to games like CSGO and Apex Legends, where there's a lot of toxic people on those games.
yeah.
Just yesterday I was playing Apex, and I know there's a lot of other women who play games that are afraid to use their microphones because
Right.
they're scared of
Yeah.
getting harassed on video games. But personally, I feel like I've just been so conditioned to expect that response on a video game that it's kind of just like in my brain, I'm kind of just normalized it. Like, it's probably going to happen. I know what to expect. I know what to say. I can handle myself. I'm not going to let it get to me. Even though it's not normal. I don't think that's a great thing. But just yesterday, I was playing Apex and I was just chilling. And this guy just was punching me. Like my own teammate. He was just punching me. And he was like, "Shut up, woman." And it's just terrible that these mindsets still exist. And I know I'm pretty outspoken on Twitter, specifically when Pokimane tweets about females in gaming and how they are treated. I know I'll reply and I'll praise what she's saying, and then I'll just get a bunch of replies and I'm not getting ratioed, but it's just a lot of angry gamers that feel like girls shouldn't have a presence in gaming, competitively or not. And it's just really sad.
Wait, let's go for something extremely controversial. Like, when it comes to Twitter online, but I have a feeling we all feel the same. Have you guys heard of IShowSpeed?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I'm going to mention about that. And you haven't?
No.
I'm going to explain about that later to you, but I just want to hear Castabelle's opinion about the entire situation. Because
all right, so I'll just give a quick recap about what happened with IShowSpeed. A guy on Twitter named Jake Sucky brought up Lucky, actually.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's actually Jake Lucky.
Oh, Jake Lucky on Twitter. I wasn't sure because I guess he must have changed his name during the entire thing. He basically showed a clip from a YouTube streamer named iShowSpeed where he's basically it's unknown if these guys were being toxic to them on Valorant, but I mean toxicity is shit talking in games. That happens.
Right.
He basically went off on this girl on Valorant and told her to go do her husband's dishes, and he was like, "Is a bitch talking to me?"
I think I did hear about that.
That's exactly what he said. So it was a huge controversy on Twitter, and it ended up with him getting banned on all Riot games.
Wow.
Yep.
So my opinion on that is iShowSpeed is very young. I think he's like 18, 19. I don't know when. I don't know.
By the way,
he's 17.
He's 17.
So he's a minor.
Goodness gracious.
Second, he has grown exponentially within the past couple months, and he has cultivated an insanely toxic community. And I feel like when you have that many followers and such a huge community that you're growing, you have to, and they're young, you have to know the kind of things you put out and say on the internet that they will be mirrored, that people are looking up to you.
Right.
And I really feel like this is just one of those defining moments in his career where he's going to be like, hey, I really need to take a step back and look at the things I say when I'm going on when I'm raging, blah, blah, blah. So he doesn't make that mistake again, because it was super, super controversial on Twitter. Keemstar got involved, the whole 9 yards. It was a lot. There was a lot of backlash from the gaming community, others saying that he's young and that you should let him grow and learn. But it's also the fact that his audience is so large. He has those outlets, those resources to reach out to other influencers, that I just don't think his actions were acceptable at all, even if the clip is old. Because he's still...
I mean, it wasn't that old, to be honest.
It wasn't...
a few months.
Yeah, but I completely agree. Because he still... His content it's a lot of shock value. So someone will donate something to him, make fun of him, make racist comments, and he'll react. And it's really toxic, and it's really sad to see. It's essentially, it reminds me of like the old internet, like how things used to be back in like 2016. It's where everyone was just saying everything, not getting canceled on Twitter. True. But it's just the fact that it is 2022, and there's a lot of things different. People being held accountable for things. The things that he said, definitely they don't fly today, and I just don't think they're acceptable, because women in gaming, like I said, there's always going to be that one guy in the game that thinks they're better, that thinks, oh, because I'm a man, women shouldn't be playing video games for some reason. And it just perpetuates that stereotype. And he has so many young, impressionable fans that they're probably going to think that same way as well.
You know, that's actually the most truthful response I've heard throughout the entire thing. Like, you're actually not kind of like choosing sides, but just going with the most logical way, though, which makes so much sense in comparison with other content creators that they're just goddamn fighting over and over again, saying who's right, who's wrong. It's, when it comes to Twitch community and YouTube community, they were literally fighting towards that.
Yeah, but at the same time, iShowSpeed is their largest YouTube streamer. So is that what if we want to talk about Twitch versus YouTube, is that what they want their content creator to be, essentially the face of? When you go to Twitch, you see faces like Pokimane, Sykkuno, XQC,
right,
Mizkif. You know, they're not spewing hatred, essentially. And it's not that Speed is being racist or maybe making misogynistic remarks all the time. It's just he'll allow donations that are rude towards him, that are, I don't understand it, but that's kind of what he's created.
So he's like accepting
essentially it's his
donations
own fault.
he's accepting donations that are like racist on purpose, like, and then just reacting off of it or something like that.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
that's
essentially.
like
And-
like taking a cash grab and, you know, taking advantage of racist bigots and taking their money. But that's also a kind of a weird way to create content, in my opinion. That's like,
But at this, I can understand that, but when it comes to random people in a video game who may not be in on this joke or whatever you would like to refer to it as,
right.
it's different. It's I don't understand because you don't know what people are going through on the internet. I try to be as nice as possible, but you know, everyone has their toxic moments. Everybody gets into a little shit talking sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, you know, it's
We all
like
play
that.
CS.
But yeah, exactly. We all play CS:GO. We know how people can be on CS:GO. But to broadcast that to 7 million followers that you have and just openly just go off on someone in like a Valorant game when it in the end it's not even that serious, it's odd.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, and you do have a wide variety of, you know, younger minds, and yes, they're young and they're looking up to certain people. You know, their mind can be melded, and you know, they might think this is okay, you know, or saying racist shit is okay, and it's like, no, it's absolutely not. And
Of course, it's not.
It's another weird thing because, you know, their parents, you know, they're doing their thing, and you know, while they're trying to raise their kid, they're not keeping an eye on, you know, their kid at all times and what they might be doing on the internet, or they might be watching something on their phone and they're laughing. They don't really know what they're laughing at. And then you realize, like, you know, one day when mom steps into Billy's room and watches, like, you know, what's this person you're watching? It's like, why are you just watching some guy right now? And then you discover that this person is a controversial, like, Twitch streamer. Then, like, mom's all like, oh yeah, now I don't want you to watch Twitch. And now you have conflict because now the kid's all like, well, my role model is being taken away from me because my mom doesn't want me watching Twitch.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how do you turn around from that? It's weird that is one of the things that popped up, because there is I actually ran into a video, and the rifler for Team Liquid, Jonathan Jablanowski, otherwise known as a Liege, there was a video I ran into. I don't know why you're reacting like that, Dino. But apparently he exposed a toxic team and, like, pretty much told the admins, hey, you should probably check out this team. And then the team, I think they're from ESEA, and they checked out this team, and they pretty much banned them, and then their org ended up dropping them because they were saying, like, racist, bigoted stuff. And it's just like, oh, you got caught.
Of course. I mean,
wow.
I think a lot of people think they're safe behind closed doors, but there's it's not acceptable. You shouldn't be practicing, or not practicing, or just saying homophobic slur. You shouldn't be saying anything homophobic, misogynistic, or slurs, because it's just, I will never be that person. I've never been that person. I don't understand how people can just think they're so safe. And then, especially if they're a pro sports player, you never know what can happen. Leaked DMs, stuff like that. That's crazy. But I definitely do believe in that decision of dropping those players, because that's just not acceptable in the face of, like, a company standpoint either. You can't just have your pro players being like that. That's not okay.
Gotcha. So either way, for those who are currently listening and watching, respect women, please.
Please do. Yeah.
You know, like, when I was growing up, man, I would love, you know, if a girl wanted to play video games, because that's freaking cool. That's, like, you know, for a lot of dudes, that's the dream. Like, I want to play games with my significant other, or I want to, like, you know, just be able to game with girls and not be freaking weird. And
yeah, and That's another point. It's like when I'm playing CS:GO with my boyfriend, or just playing games with any other guy I may know, it's always, "Oh, is that your boyfriend? Is he simping? How do you feel as Caitlin's boyfriend? And you're fragging below her. A girl's doing better than you." A lot of shit talk like that.
Yeah.
That gets started just because I'm a woman. You know, it wouldn't be brought up if another guy was fragging over a guy unless they start something with each other, you know?
Right.
It's always just
Yeah.
the point that because I'm a girl, I will have comments and be judged differently than my fellow male peers on Twitch and in games. It's sad, but we're trying to make a better space for everybody here.
Hell yeah.
For women, you know, there's some big faces out there like Pokimane, Valkyrae, just
You know, there's some
a
people
lot
who
of
cannot
Goose breeder.
role models.
there's some people that still cannot face the fact that there's more women playing video games than before, and they're just literally staying in the past.
Exactly.
They cannot accept that.
I don't understand why it's so peculiar. I remember gaming since I've been gaming my entire life.
Okay, I think
As it should
Castabelle's
be.
brain broke for a second.
And I'm gonna break my brain even more.
Gotcha. So we did have a little bit of chat in here. Blinded by Silence is in the chat, not the Pink Whitney. She actually mentioned that close to the beginning when she saw Dito taking a shot.
I had a stress day. Okay.
Intensity
I need it.
LOL, one of Castabelle's viewers, is in the chat listening. And we had Shay Lioness currently lurking right now. Shay is one of our female friends, and we absolutely adore Shay. She's so fun. And
Yeah, I mean, that's how me and Alex met because of Shay. A random CS:GO game.
not Dito exposing my retired name whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely not at all, right? What was it before that? Finna?
No, it was
No, it
Arrow,
was
and then
Finna,
Finna,
Arrow.
and then Arrow
Listen,
again.
We don't want to talk about old usernames.
Are you sure
alright?
about that? Are you sure about that, Caitlin? Because I remember your
Oh.
name being I the Besser Girl.
What?
And you were one of the people who told me that I shouldn't change it.
You should,
know,
because
but
I'm somebody who kept his name from start to finish.
no, well, I completely agree. That username brought me a lot of grief. I would enter chats and people would think I was like 9 years old, or it would just be like people wouldn't know what to call me. They'd call me girl, they'd call me best. They just didn't know how to
That's true.
read
Holy
my
shit,
username.
That is so true.
And
Holy fuck.
Not having readability when someone's first entering your chat or getting a first impression of you is really bad. That first impression of your username is really important. And I was
Yeah, I
But
guess I said it
it's-
because of nostalgia.
Dude.
honestly, it's really funny because before I changed my username on Twitter from either Besser Girl to Castabelle, I was in a Boblax video. I don't know how to say the name Boblax.
Oh, right.
And that's how Dito found me again after all those years.
Oh my god.
And because of that username. But you know, I've been creating a following with Castabelle for about over a year now. TikTok, Twitch,
Oh yeah,
Twitter.
Oh, you're on
got that
TikTok?
Oh,
I love
yeah.
TikTok.
That got that
So-
TikTok.
So that's the main reason why I decided to make that switch, and I just think my now new username just flows off the tongue better, and it's just I really like it. But you know, everybody goes through those phases of not knowing what username to use and changing and growing. So
I mean, we could have still been contact if you didn't have that weird name on Discord. You know,
oh yeah,
it was
Big
your
Prong
fault
Daddy.
on that one. Yeah.
yeah,
So-
of course. Just trolling on Discord, you
Just
know.
imagine
vibing.
getting a friend request from somebody called Big Prong Daddy.
What?
Listen,
No mutuals whatsoever.
Because when I went from Skype to Discord. You were there, and I thought that it would say that I was a mutual contact through Skype.
It didn't.
That's
It did.
okay.
That's
well,
so
I don't know
funny.
I don't know what to say. But you see, my Discord name it's Castabelle. You know, I'm done with
Mhm.
all those other usernames, other troll names. Just we're here now as Castabelle.
She's retired. She's retiring everything else.
Retiring everything else.
Oh my god, that is too funny. Now, so again, for those who are currently listening and watching, we do have Dito DiBiase, the Colombian American co-host. We do have Castabelle, who has joined us as our special guest. This is So We Aiming Part 2. Now, just to recap on the first episode featuring Tyson Yonker, we talked about, what was the first FPS game that you recall playing. For Nanners, it was GoldenEye. Or I believe me and Dito, it was actually Wolfenstein. Castabelle, what was yours?
CSGO.
Counter-Strike. I'm kind of jelly. I wish that was my first one. Like, it would have been Counter-Strike. It would have been CSGO. It would have probably been 1.6, because I'm old as shit.
Oh.
But favorite FPS of all time. For Dito, BioShock. For Nanners, it was COD, Black Ops 2, 3, or Counter-Strike. And for me, it was also Counter-Strike, CSGO. What about yours?
Honestly, I'd have to say CSGO as
CS:GO.
well. I don't know if Apex counts. I mean, it's a battle royale, but
it's a first-person shooter for sure.
I CS:GO and Apex are really up there. Those are my two favorite games, but CS:GO holds a place in my heart. I love playing that game.
Hell yeah.
Spent a lot of money on it too. So.
Oh no, I understand that too. I used to have a few
I
knives.
really understand. I wish I can say that CS:GO could be. I mean, it is the most FPS game that I played, the most one, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite because at the same time, I have a love and totally hate relationship with that game.
I think everybody also does, though.
And that.
That is a
Also,
mood for sure.
Talking about American thing, my passport just came today, by the way.
Your what? Your passport?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk. When I told you before to say. So I'm completely an American now.
Oh, damn it.
Anyways.
I thought I had my passport on my desk because I was about to flash my passport too. Damn it. All right, whatever.
Sorry
Anyways.
for that random topic. That's why
And then
I
the other question that we had for the group was what are the more recent FPS games that you played that are not like Apex or the usual suspects? And for Dito, it was Call of Duty Warzone / Vanguard. Mine was The Cycle Frontier. And Anders didn't really have any because he hasn't played anything recently that's new. Have you played any? Yeah, I know. That's it's a really hard question.
I don't think I've played any new FPS games as of recently. I kind of cycle through the same few FPS games.
most of them have been extremely bad.
I feel that.
I honestly don't think there's been anything that's been released recently that I've played that's new. Honestly, no. I think I've just been playing the same Apex, CS, Valorant, essentially those three.
Valorant, we did actually touch up on Valorant. So what we also discussed in the last episode was the evolution of FPS games throughout the years. So we talked about, how FPS first came into fruition, how it kind of evolved, from, I want to say the early 2000s all the way till, we started getting our first battle royale games. And then we also talked about titles ranging from Call of Duty to Escape from Tarkov to Valorant. Games we didn't really touch upon, which we'll go ahead and have a little couple comments on them. But Rainbow Six series, Dito.
Yeah, I had a difficult moment with that game. I stopped playing CS:GO for a big while, I guess, because I got addicted to Rainbow Six Siege, and I managed to get into Plat, and people kept calling me a forever Plat because I cannot even get to Diamond. I was so close to getting Diamond, and it was just despicable,
Feels bad.
And I was addicted to that game.
That game, when it first came out, I was I needed something that was different. And that game was so much fun. And I remember playing as Ash all the time just because I liked having that little grenade launcher. And I'm firing a freaking round from downtown to try to breach for something that no one needed breaching whatsoever. By the way, hey Trey, live, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast. How you doing? The next game that we didn't really touch upon, Overwatch. Any biters here?
Yeah, here. I used to play it a lot.
I
Sorry.
played Overwatch when it first came out.
I am an Overwatch enjoyer. But before I was able to afford playing that game, I would play a game called Paladins.
Paladins, let's go.
Paladins. I really enjoy Paladins, and I just signed up a couple days ago for the Overwatch 2 beta when that game is a 5v5, which is something I'm used to on Paladins. But I do like Overwatch because everyone says they're basically the same game, so we can just say they're the same game. But I have my own ideas and thoughts on that. There's a lot of different mechanics, but I have not been caught up playing Paladins as of recently, but I can enjoy some Overwatch. I like playing that game.
That's excellent.
I used to be extremely toxic in Overwatch, which was one of the reasons I left it. Really toxic. I broke mouses. I was really toxic. I hated my DPSs. Yes.
I can only play as McCree, and I can only play as Hanzo, and I was mainly a Hanzo main. I just remember just doing whatever I can to get my ult, and then I just launched that dragon. I'm like, here we go.
I used to be a flex player. I flex player, and it was it pissed me off so much the freaking game, because when you feel like as a tank, look, I was mainly tank, but when you feel that people are like you're doing more DPS than actual DPS, right?
Yeah.
Be like one of them, for example, being a Reaper or a Pharah that they decide not to change or they're getting counter every time. I'm not gonna protect your ass. You better change and do something good, because I'm doing more DPS than you're doing. And guess what? You're supposed to be doing more DPS than I am.
Damn. Now, what Castabelle actually touched upon, there is a closed beta that's actually going live on April 26th for Overwatch. So I'm not sure if there's still a way that people can register for that, but if you can try to figure it out, here's your heads up. You have, I don't know how to do math, 6 days left or 8 days left. I swear I know a little bit of math. Hey, Trey is a support main. Poggers.
Hey, support mains are great, and we all love our support mains.
Especially in League of Legends. If you're a support main, please hit me up because I need to get support.
If you're a support, you're totally allowed to rage at your team without an excuse because you're a support.
Exactly. I completely agree.
Yeah. And and if you play League of Legends, you can just rage at the jungler because, junglers always screw everything up. Except for me. Anyways, moving forward, Destiny. Everyone got really quiet on Destiny.
Yeah.
I didn't really play it too much. I played it a lot.
Neither did I.
I played it a lot when it first came out, but then I kind of just died off. That was it. Because I played it on the Xbox One, and that was it.
Okay. I was addicted to Destiny quite a lot. And I'm so, I shouldn't be talking about it because I know it's the bad thing. Because, don't get me wrong, I love looter shooters, but I also love MMOs. Destiny was closer, like the mix of both of them.
That is true.
So I was an actual addiction with both 1 and 2. I'm glad I stopped. I'm really glad I stopped. But for the first one was the one that I have most addiction with, and I met a lot of people, a lot, thanks to Destiny.
I just remember there's that one class where you pretty much have like the gun, right?
Oh, that's the hunter.
The hunter class. That's what I would always play as.
Yeah, I still kind of like.
And I think he had a cloak, and I'm like huge on cloaks on characters.
So you're a weeb.
Shut up. Yo, Scout Regiment. I really want like a Scout Regiment like tapestry so bad. You have no idea. I want to like I will 100% show off that weebery of me. Now, we were talking about Apex Legends because all of us I think have played this and enjoyed it. The highest rank I ever got was to plat during my sickness. I was down with the sickness. And apparently Castabelle is fucking amazing at the game, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm amazing, but this specific excuse me, this split. Sorry, I don't know what happened in my head. This split, I feel like I've been beaming just so much more than normal. But I have been playing that game like every day consistently. The highest rank I've been is Diamond 4, like I said. Solo queuing is rough. But yeah, I'm hoping to be on that grind this season. I'm almost at Platinum 2 right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully reach Diamond a lot earlier this split than I did in the last one on the map Olympus. I really love that map.
I love
we're
Olympus.
We're on Kings Canyon right now,
Yep.
and I don't know if it's just the players or if there's something different. It just feels like the split is a lot easier than the last split with Olympus. I don't know if anyone is keeping up on Apex Twitter, but last split there was a lot of people who reached Masters, and the pred cap on PC was over 30,000 RP, which is crazy, which is a lot of grinding. So a lot of people on Twitter essentially decided that the people who are masters were just watered down diamonds. But
Damn.
if they're saying that about last split, I don't know what this split is then, because I feel like this split is a lot easier than, and everyone has their opinions on Olympus, but I really like that map. It's my favorite map.
That's sick. We have a question in the chat from Blinded by Silence, which, by the way, Blinded by Silence is actually going to be our guest for the May 3rd episode. So you guys make sure you mark that in your calendars. That way you'll go ahead and tune in to the stream on that day. But she asks, who do you main on Apex, though? We'll go ahead and start with Dito.
Okay.
Me?
Yeah,
Well,
you.
Well, I used to be a Lifeline main quite a lot, to be honest.
That's because you're a support bay.
Yes. I'm being a support. Like, I'm now playing League of Legends quite a lot lately.
Mhm.
And yes, I'm being a support, and I almost in every game now that I think about it. Oh my god, I'm a support main. I don't even know what to say.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We need those. We were just talking about how we need our supports and we love our supports, so it's fine.
That
So,
makes so much
Dito,
sense. Yeah,
Lifeline.
toxic.
What about you, Castabelle?
I main Wraith. I recently got an
Wraith.
heirloom, which is crazy because heirlooms are extremely rare, and I'm not even level 500 yet. But within like the past week or two, I've been playing a ton of Ashe. I really enjoy her abilities, and I just think that she can do what Wraith can do, but maybe just a little better. So I've been maining Wraith. I've been maining Wraith, but recently, Ashe.
Nice. When the game first
That is
came out
dope.
on Xbox, or not when I had an Xbox, but I played as a Wraith, and then actually when I got sick, I switched over to Revenant, and I was a Revenant main for a while. And then I think I think within that time period, they also released Horizon, and now I'm a Horizon main. So that's who I've been playing.
Oh wait, I just realized that I didn't mention. I actually kind of moved into like Bloodhound afterwards because I had another friend who just played Lifeline, and I guess I prefer playing Bloodhound more than Lifeline.
Bloodhound is
Mhm.
so clutch, man. He's such a he'll win the end of the game like almost any time. It's crazy. He's scary.
If you play Caustic, I hate you.
Honestly, yeah.
That's funny because I remember back a couple seasons ago, I would main. I mained Caustic for a minute, and then when a meta Revtane, which was basically Revenant and Octane, when they made his jump pad better, you could basically set down Revenant's totem, and then jump pad over to a squad and literally just destroy them. But then you'd get sent back to the totem. So it was like a free get out of jail card. But they nerfed his jump pad, and that's not really in the meta anymore. But when it was in the meta, you bet I was playing some Revenant. He's fun to play.
That is OP. That is busted.
It really was. It really was. I know there's a lot of different metas going on now, especially with the ALGs going on in Apex. They're sending pros to Sweden. You see a lot of Gibraltar, Valkyrie, and
Mhm.
Ashe. So, yeah.
Wow.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Now we took so much time on Apex. I love it. Now there are
Apex
some
is the
games
big-
on here that I think we might kind of breeze over really quick. I mean, Quake was. I think Quake was definitely beyond a couple of you guys' time.
But I still played and remember Colombia was really behind.
Yes, that is correct. You had
Don't forget
you're super behind with all the games in your country.
Yep.
Unreal Tournament. I played the shit out of UT 2004. Oh my god, that game was super fun. The Battlefield series, that's gonna always have a special place in my heart personally.
Same here. You're not the only one.
1942 all the way, like, I'll probably get some flack for this and I'll accept it, it's fine, but I never really played too much Bad Company. Wasn't really the biggest fan of Bad Company
come on,
either.
really? I spent so much time on Bad Company 1 and 2, most likely 2, so I'm getting offended right now. But yeah, and Battlefield 3.
I was Battlefield 3 out. That was, oh my god, playing the alpha was the best thing ever. And I actually burnt out a video card and pretty much fried a computer because I didn't know how to overclock properly because of Battlefield 3 alpha.
We're skipping a lot of years right now, and Bree is totally right to say this in chat. Team Fortress 2.
Yep, Team Fortress 2.
That was a game changer for PC players.
That's the OG Overwatch, man.
That is
the OG Overwatch.
Overwatch. Like Payload, what other games? Capture the Flag, I guess, but mainly was Payload on Team Fortress 2. And that's where Overwatch got it from.
Dude, that game's UI was so freaking loaded though. Like sometimes I swear, like, the gameplay was fine, but then when it came to like loading into a game, or like this is when like instant replays and screenshots like first like started popping into Steam, it would literally bog down my computer. And I thought I had a pretty decent computer at the time. I had like a quad core, I had a Radeon card. Like this is 2008, 2007. So
yeah.
But either way, it was like, ugh.
I used to play in those freaking, what is it called?
A good call out from Blinded by Silence.
Yeah, that was a good one. I mean, that was her main game on stream, like for ages. Anyways, that game, I used to play that game a lot. That and Counter-Strike 1.6 on cyber cafes, because I didn't have a computer back then, and I used to just go there in Colombia in order to play games. You need to go there, and that's how I spend my time with some of my friends with those type of games.
That's awesome.
Insane. That and bunny hopping as Scout throughout the entire map.
The last couple titles I have over here are the PlanetSide series. Super fun. PlanetSide 2 was a very wide scale game. The very first PlanetSide was even, in my opinion, I feel like even more wide scale because there are so many more planets you can actually invade, and you can always invade different ones. Whereas PlanetSide 2, I think, is now kind of limited to 3 particular territories. Now the maps are obviously still super huge, and the battles are very, very large scale, but super fun. And then the Far Cry series. Far Cry, super fun.
Far Cry 3.
Far Cry 3! Yes!
Heard great things.
Didn't like 5, and I got a little bit disappointed from 6, I guess.
Wait, was 5 the one with the freaky girl with the drugs?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh my god,
she's the sister of the main antagonist.
Yeah, dude, I would have died. She would have seduced me and killed me. Just saying.
Understandable.
It was the drugs, bro. It was like all those plants, man. They are hallucinogens, okay?
God damn it, Alex.
Alrighty, now to end on the we're gonna end with that portion again because this was the So We Aiming Part 2 portion. We do have some random gaming news that I kind of like, we'll go ahead and explain to everybody. Now via PCGamer.com, what I learned is China bans live streams of unapproved video games. New regulations are the latest step in the Chinese government's crackdown on gaming and internet usage by minors. So I saw that, and I was like, what games are banned in China? You know what game is banned in China?
Battlefield 4?
No, Castabelle's favorite game. Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. Wow, I thought that's wild. I looked into that, actually, and I'm pretty sure it's because of anti-China propaganda that was posted through patterns on Animal Crossing, which is the craziest thing.
It was banned because It was banned because players created and posted anti-government messages in game with a custom pattern tool.
So you're telling me that Minecraft is not banned on China?
Nope.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Battlefield 4 was banned for smearing the image of China and the Chinese army, although the game presents China as a protagonist and glorifies the PLA, the People's Liberation Army. Devotion, I don't remember what that game was. It got banned for something, though. These games got banned for recognizing Taiwan and Tibet as independent countries. Football Manager 2005, Rip Trace Hathaway, and Hearts of Iron. IGI 2 Covert Strike. No idea what the fuck that is.
Whatever that is.
These games contain blood, gore, and vulgar content. Okay.
Oh, that makes sense why Devotion was banned. It's a scary game.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But this one, Alliance of Valiant Arms, aka Ava, that was a first-person shooter from way back in the day. And I think it had vehicles, which was cool. So it was like a free Battlefield game. Fortnite's banned in China. That kind of doesn't surprise
That's a
me.
big title, but I feel like it kind of makes sense somehow. Like I don't know. The things that China does over there, especially like with their streamers, they have a lot of limitations on their streamers.
sure.
So I mean, I guess it only makes sense.
You got to
that they
censor
ban
what you're
Fortnite
saying,
too.
otherwise they're all like, "You're done, you're done."
Yeah.
Free Fire was also banned for having overly revealing female characters. Quantum Matrix, Plague Inc., the super popular disease game, was banned in China as a result.
I love that game.
As a result,
I love that game.
the COVID-19 pandemic. Dun, dun, dun. Now, this game, this is a I guess you can call it a trigger warning. It's a sexual assault essay, but this game, it's literally called Rape Play. Banned because it promotes and supports the use of violence to compel a person to submit to sexual conduct and the exploitation of young persons for sexual purposes. This game was designed in 2006 and was banned in multiple countries because it's actually fucking psychotic. This game is centered on a male character who stalks and rapes a mother and her 2 daughters. Like, how the fuck did this game even get published in the first place?
Oh God!
Like,
I've never heard of this game before, but that's abhorrent. That's terrible.
I never heard about it until I did my damn research, and I'm over here like, "What's Rayplay?" And I looked up Rayplay, and I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck? This is
I can't believe games like that exist."
Exactly. Huh?
Is that actually like with a publisher and stuff like that?
It had a publisher, dude. Yeah,
what the fuck?
It's crazy. And then, I know, shock value. And then the last game that I saw on the list was Valkyrie Drive Pikakuni, and it was banned because of sexual content glorifying homosexuality. And apparently, China's not down with that. So.
Damn.
Well, China, stop being, jerks. Anyways, that's my random gaming news.
Yeah, that was quite shocking almost at the end.
Yeah, no kidding.
I feel like that should be banned in more countries than just China, but
I think it should just be like removed from the fucking internet, but like at least stapled on Wikipedia. That way, you don't forget history.
It just shouldn't exist.
Exactly.
It just shouldn't exist. Just scrub the internet of it.
Who thought that was gonna be a great idea? And the publisher, like, yeah, sure, we'll pay for that.
Redonkulous.
Yeah,
Redonkulous. Anyways, so quick shout outs before we go ahead and wrap up today's episode. Mysteriocities episode 6 was released last week. The Mysterious Drowning of Natalie Wood. In this episode, Morgan Roberts takes a deep dive into the life of Natalie Wood, sifting through her mini notes addressing her personal life, professional life in the Hollywood scene, and eventually the mysterious occurrences surrounding her death. That link will be available in the description when this episode goes live across all directories like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, etc.
Insane. I'm gonna listen to that one.
Yeah, it's good. And don't tell anyone. I mean, first off, get my side of the story out.
Don't tell anyone, but at least you know that Miara is gonna listen to this episode.
I know she's. But so when I was listening to the recording of the episode, it was about like 38 minutes in, and I already had a long day. I was tired. I made a delicious pre-podcast recording breakfast burritos, okay? And if you guys want the recipe of that, I will be happy to tweet it out. It's Alex's magical breakfast burritos. They're amazing. But I fell asleep. I fell asleep during the recording, and and I just remember I was like lying down in a very super comfy Secret Labs chair, and I was listening. I was like, because what I do is whenever I'm over there listening to the episodes, I'm just listening, and I usually close my eyes because that way I'm not paying attention to them, and I'm just paying attention to how the audio sounds and how everything is going and the fluidity of the episode. And apparently I just passed out, and then all of a sudden I just remember hearing, "Is he sleeping?" Oh my God, that's so fucking funny. And I just look. Damn. I just like open my eyes and I look over there, and I'm like, and I just hear Morgan saying, "That's so fucking rude." But they cut that part. They cut that part. Miara thankfully edited that part out of the episode. But then they called it out later in the episode, and I felt so bad. I was like, "Oh my God, how embarrassing!" I thought Morgan was gonna hate me forever on that one. But anyways, check out Mysteriocities. Follow them on their social media. The Unseasoned podcast. Didn't you guys release an episode? Dito DiBiase is actually part of another podcast. I don't know why I started talking like that, but yeah, I did.
We're about to actually just release season 4, which is the second to last episode before our first season ends. And we're definitely going to talk about a lot of weird stuff involving either relationships and or a lot of alcohol back when we were just in high school.
Whoa, that's illegal, bro. We don't condemn that.
We were 18 we were 18 and the legal drink age in Colombia is 18. Oh,
hell yeah. I want to go to Colombia. I'm just kidding. Don't give me that look, dude.
Basically, season 4, it's going to be extremely spicy because we're just going to talk about relatable content and just stories of our life. Because I can tell you right now that our life in Colombia, it was fucked up.
That's so funny. Alrighty. And finally, our special guest, Castabelle. What do you have to say for the audience? And obviously, shout yourself out.
Thank you guys so much for having me on the podcast. This is my first podcast I've ever been on, so I loved being able to talk about gaming, something I'm passionate about. Really appreciate that. If anybody that's listening on the podcast or here live want to check me out on my social medias, we got my TikTok, Castabelle, my username, twitch.tv/Castabelle, and Twitter, Castabelle as well, with an underscore though.
I am Saracen says legal drinking age in the U.S. is also 18 if you're sneaky enough.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Sure.
But Dito, I mean, I guess a round of applause. Thank you, Castabelle. Woo!
You were an amazing guest. Holy crap.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for bringing me on.
I do not condone alcohol.
I do not condone alcohol. Freaking proceeds to go ahead and take a shot.
Man, I said it already. It's been a difficult day and very stressful day.
Gotcha. Now, for those who are currently watching and listening, to wrap up the tail end of this episode, we're going to actually be playing Counter-Strike. Me, Dito, and Castabelle, we're going to go and queue up, so we need 2 more people to join us. But aside from that, Dito or Castabelle, do you guys have anything else to say?
So
we gaming.
We gaming.
Oh my god. Everybody, thank you for hanging out for the episode so much. And we'll catch you next week on, I believe, our 10th episode recording. I don't know who's going to show up on that one, but you guys have a good night and we'll catch you on the next one. Everybody have a great sleep.